Today on the EdexLive Podcast, we are joined by one of India's fastest rising stars, Sia Sawant. She's not just fast, she's blazing. At just 19 years old, she's already made a name for herself as one of India's brightest track and field stars. Hailing from Mumbai, she's the reigning gold medalist in the 100 meters at the 2023 Khelo India Youth Games, clocking in at an electrifying 12.10 seconds. Ranked number 1 in India in the 100 meter and number 2 in the 200 meter as of 2023, she bettered not 1, not 2, but 3 national records and has been in the national circuit for more than 5 consecutive years. She's also represented India on the world stage, gives back through social work, and is part of the Welspun Super Sport Women program supporting women athletes across the country. Please welcome Sia Sawant. Sia, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and thank you so much for having me here.
Yes, we are very excited. So I'm going to jump right in just to give our audiences a bit of a context. Can you tell me a little bit about, your growing up years, your childhood? Who was Sia back in the day before all of this took place?
There's not really a Sia before all this started because my journey started when I was just 5 years old. So it's been a long journey, more than a decade. I think I was always a very hyperactive and a playful child, and my mama was just like, she has to go somewhere. All this energy needs to be vented out somewhere. And that's how she enrolled me in an athletics summer camp when I was just 5 years old. And I took part in the first race of my life, which was in the under 6 category. It was a state meet, and I ran 3 events. It was 30 meters back then, so like 30 meters, 50 meters, and a 4 into 50 relay, and I won 3 medals there. So that was the start of my journey, and I think it's just been going upwards since then.
Sia, what do you think has contributed to your rise as India's number 100-meter sprinter at the Khelo India Youth Games in 2023? Do you want to lead us through that a little bit?
Okay, it's going to be a team effort. So it's my hard work and my dedication towards my sport, and it's my passion. I love sprinting. As I said, I started early, and I've always loved it since the first time I think I wore a medal around my neck. I loved the feeling of it, and I've always wanted to do it. The other thing would be my parents. I think it's their unwavering support that I've got. They wake up at like 4:30 in the morning, and mama I think at 3:45, then she has to pack all my tiffins, and then dad takes me for training on the track, then goes back, and then he has to then travel to his office. So he covers almost like more than 200 kilometers every single day. So it's not just like a single person's effort behind all this, but it's like a combined team effort from myself, my parents, my coaches. So I don't remember myself taking a single day off from track. And so it's not just me, it's my coach too. So let's say there's just pouring very heavily, like Mumbai rains, and we're running on the beach. I'd be the only one who showed up on the track. But then if you look around, there'd be Ravi sir standing there. So Ravi sir is my coach. It's a constant like support from everyone that's got me here.
I understand that. I think it takes a lot of moving parts for it to come together to, make one person's dream happen. I completely get where you're coming from. When we talk about resilience, not just from you, but all the team effort. So do you want to tap on, sports infrastructure for Indian youth in general? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it is improving a lot right now. We have a lot more better facilities available here now in our country, but there are lots of challenges. It's not just about constructing something, it's also about the execution later and also the maintenance part. And then no one really looks at that. So the track's all been in bad conditions, and not just my state, but everywhere else. Okay, the track back at home, it hardly has like 3 layers of synthetic on it, whether it shouldn't be like that. There has to be much more. So the track becomes hard, then there are more injury risk and everything. So that becomes the infrastructure part. Like I think we're still lacking there. Although there are few states who do construct like completely new stadiums and everything to conduct nationals. I think Odisha does that really well. So right before a competition, they just construct the whole stadium again and make it brand new. Not just the tracks, but I feel the rehab centers or the recovery centers, the SNC rooms, then qualitative analysis. But the strengths, I think The strength I would look at is that in the future, I think India is improving a lot, that we're getting in foreign coaches to get in their knowledge, their expertise. Athletes are getting better. It goes both ways. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And in terms of communicating to the immediate people that are, working to provide this infrastructure, do you think there could be a better channel of communication where athletes kind of communicate the requirements of what is working and not working to the immediate circle? Do you have any thoughts on how it can be more mellifluous, so to speak?
Yeah, I think maybe like, the link between the athletes and the coaches, I feel, is like the good link between the athletes and the management ahead, because the coaches are involved in the managers' meetings with the states, or be it the Athletics Federation of India. Coaches could be a link, like they could convey our messages maybe ahead. And also, if they could, take surveys or like interviews right after nationals to get an idea of what the athletes feel. From Khelo India, they'd asked us how our experience was, but then I think that should increase.
You've competed in events like SGFI Nationals, CISCE Nationals, and now the World Athletics U20 Championships. Is there a difference in how you prepare at the school level, national level, and international competitions?
There's not like a different way to prepare for any competition. I see all competitions as the same preparation wise, because you wouldn't want to go even for a school level being not fit and not prepared, right? Everything needs to be on point. I think the only difference when it comes to national and internationals becomes the external pressure, right? Let's say internationals, I'm running for the first time, so you've got a great opportunity to prove yourself. But there's so much more. There's like the burden of your entire nation, let's say, or if it's nationals, and the burden of the entire state standing there, your parents. So that becomes like an external pressure, because you start thinking a lot, I think, beyond the race, which shouldn't be the case, but that's actually, it's clearly normal, because at that stage you would also think about what's happening around. But the preparation and everything else remains absolutely the same.
I think consistency plays a very important role in tying everything together, right? I feel like, equal effort for all events. Is that the theme? Awesome. So, you're part of the Welspun Super Sport Women program, which supports female athletes across various stages of their careers. Now, how has being associated with such an initiative impacted your journey in athletics? And what does it mean to you to be part of such a wonderful program?
What Welspun's doing is literally giving me an external like support and assistance, which is absolutely required. Like I feel there's sports, not just my sport, but like all sports. It's an expensive business. There's training fees, flying for competitions. There's so many competitions. There's camps. The nutrition part. There are so many supplements, or even a nutritionist visit is going to be expensive. Physio is SNC. So someone from a non-sports background would think, oh, it's just going on the track, running, competing in an event or two, and that's it. But it's not like that. It's a lot more expensive. And I think for athletes to manage that over the years, it becomes really difficult, right? Now I've been doing it for more than a decade. It becomes difficult, becomes a burden on everyone, I feel. In such a state where this is all extremely necessary also, if you want to see progress, if you don't want athletes to pull out of their sport, you need assistance and you need support. So I think what Welspun's doing for me and for other elite women athletes, it's just like providing an external support, like being a backbone. Like you do whatever you want to do, and we're there to support you. And I think which is extremely important.
Would you recall maybe a particular instance that renewed your faith in any sport or through your experience where Wellspun's been like, yes, we'll do this for you and you're good to go? That revived your confidence in the system?
It would be them funding me for my international camps, etc. It's not really like a easy job, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm just going for a camp right now and I'm ready, I'm all set to go. There's so much more to it, right? So I think Wellspun in that aspect was really like, you can go for it and we're there for you.
Absolutely. I understand that everyone needs that to kind of pursue their dreams, to be like, we are here and we're going to catch you if you fall. Yeah. So, in your view, what kind of long term support do young athletes in India truly need to thrive, both in sports and in life? Because I feel like mentally, being in the right state of mind is a very big part of being an athlete and being a human being. Is there anything you'd like to share about how young athletes need this kind of long term support?
Yeah, I feel for young athletes, their life revolves around what the coach says. Because they're too young, they've still immature minds. Like the coach will tell them, do this, do that, and they do that without even thinking about it. So I feel the coaches play a really important role in shaping an athlete's life. An athlete would listen to a coach many more times as compared to their parents. They're more, I think, attracted towards that part. So I feel, it's very important for coaches to know what they're doing. If that's young athletes, so they shouldn't burden them with overtraining, or their recoveries need to be planned well. So they're resting well. Let's say that a coach has a good athlete. Coach shouldn't push the athlete to the limits till they are fatigued and they can't perform in the years that they should be able to. So I think, as you said, for a young athlete to actually nurture and bloom into a elite athlete, I feel it's more of a coach's responsibility. And then obviously parents' support is extreme. Let's say their parents say, no, I wouldn't take you for training. The kid is still young, wouldn't do anything. The kid would just stop doing it.
What about your peer group? What role did your friends play?
So one of my bestest friend, Vanshika, she's like a sister to me now. So the thing with my friends is they know that I wouldn't be able to spend as much time with them. So it's really important to have friends who would really understand you. The other thing is all my school classmates and everyone, they've all been really supportive.
Having a good friend circle, having a good support system is important. So, at the sixth Khelo India Youth Games in Chennai, you won gold in the 100 meter with a time of 12.10 seconds. Can you walk us through that race? What was going on through your mind, starting from, when you were at the starting line through the sprint and when you finished it?
So before that, I think going for the Khelo India Youth Games, right before that, like a week ago, we had school games, the SGFI Nationals. And I'd won 2 gold medals there, like a gold in the 100 and 200. And I was running with the same people. So I went in for the Khelo India Youth Games much more confident because I knew I had just done it and I had to repeat it. But even training for Khelo India, I was like, I just have to maintain what I did and just execute it there. Now, the execution was the key part for Khelo. So my heats went really well. I'd come first in the heats with a good time. It was like a 12:05, and I was pretty confident. And the same day we had finals, and I was actually aiming for an under 12 right there at that same competition. But I think there was a lot of wind, or I don't know what it was. Maybe the body cooled down because it was the evening time. I'm not really used to running in the evenings. So that's probably why it just cut down 0.05. But that happens in sprinting. You never know. It's just a game of milliseconds. But before going for the finals, I was confident, not gonna lie. I was confident winning it, and I wanted to win it. I wanted a gold in the 100. That gives you the title of being the fastest sprinter. So I was like, I want to do this and I want to get this right. And right from the start, I think from when the gun shot, I got a good start and that just pulled off. And I was like, I have to push it till the very end. And even while running, it's like, oh, I'm in front. Now I just have to maintain without doing anything. So like, just run, just run. And after finishing, I was like, it was a second one. Like, it got over. But yeah.
Wow, that's really exciting. I think against all odds, 12.10 is still unparalleled, right? That's crazy. So congratulations on that. I have one last question for you. Where do you feel most authentic?
I think that'll be at home when I'm with my family. Not just my parents, but like with my uncles and aunts, and I'm just the way I am. And also on the track, but you'll see a difference Sia on track and off track.
Absolutely, we'll take that. And that's a wrap on this episode of the EdexLive Podcast. If her words lit a spark in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode, check out our website at edexlive.com, and keep tuning in as we chase more stories that move, inspire, and make us think.